Hey guys, welcome back to Pretty Killer Podcast. I am your host, Jordana, and today we are discussing a very fun topic, and it is haunt season is upon us, guys. We are a few days away from opening night at HHN. I just got my email from the PR team at Hershey Park. Shout out Amanda. Love you guys. For my Dark Knight media pass. So let's be real. I wait for spooky season and haunt season all year round, but it is creeping up and it is super close. So let's dive into what each event has in store for us. So let's dive deep into what we have lined up for HHN. For anyone who's listening who does not know what HHN is, that is Halloween Horror Nights, and that is at Universal Studios, Orlando, and in California. So I've only attended the Orlando Horror Nights. I would love, 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 love to eventually do a Hollywood trip. I think that's going to be in the near future, but it's definitely going to happen, hopefully sooner than later. But this year, we are doing a first time Brissette family trip. In 2022, we went with Greg's family, all of us, and Roz got to do her first HHN, and so did his parents and sisters. So that was a really fun experience. That year was stacked full of houses. Obviously, like the main one that was the solidification that we were going is Halloween 1978, John Carpenter's Halloween to be exact. And oh my God, you guys, that I'm sure you've heard in previous posts or have seen me post about it, but that was the closest that I will ever get to Halloween. And I'm so happy I got to experience that with my family. It was gorgeous. Like, just to give you a little rundown of what went on in that house. You entered the house and you were in Michael's room, and it was the night that he killed his sister. And then you proceeded to walk down this hallway that was just black, and it had the Halloween theme playing with the pumpkin. It's a John Carpenter's Halloween, which was almost fainting inducing. It was a lot. It was just so much. So the details, walking through the house, one of my favorite lines from Halloween, Lonnie, get your ass away from there, was playing over the speaker, and I nearly lost my goddamn mind. Like, it was so amazing. And then we won't, focus too much on the Halloween house, but they did have Dead Man's Wake, Dead Man's Pier, I believe it was. And that came from a scare zone that Greg and I got to do when we went to HHN in 2016 for our honeymoon. So that was a really cool full circle moment for us. The house was gorgeous. And it was fun. They had the Blumhouse house that had Freaky and Black Phone. That one ended up scaring us the most, not for obviously like the movies, but just for the jump scares that were crafted. And that was at least expected. Roslyn and I, when we got out of there, were like, holy, shit. That was pretty intense. So kudos to the underdog that I did not think was going to be much of anything. And then another one that I really truly loved that I didn't think I was going to was a bug house. And that was just, huge, disgusting bugs. If you have trichophobia, which I have a slight touch of, I don't really care for holes. Like, just even thinking about it right now is making me itchy. I don't know if the mic caught that while I was scratching myself, but that house was gorgeous, fun, just a great year. So this year, we are hit with some amazing houses. Let's see. So starting off on the top, we have A Quiet Place. Silence is survival. Make a sound and you won't last long. Monstrous creatures will hunt you down as the world of the first two films comes to terrifying life. So that's cool. I was kind of, because in the world of HHN, there's always the speculation maps. There's the rumors, and this one was a heavy one. And I was kind of like, ugh, like, what are they going to do with that type of house? But completely forgetting that it is, in fact, a creature feature, and we will get aliens. So I'm excited about that. And also, I try not to like shit on these ideas right away, because from what they are given to us, and then like on paper, and then the actual event are night and day. So we'll see how that one goes. Then we have Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. An ancient artifact has released a chilling new entity, Garaka. He'll stop you cold. Only the Ghostbusters can keep you from getting iced. All right. So here are my thoughts on this one. I'm really excited for the nostalgic factor of Ghostbusters because, again, if you even know who I am, Ghostbusters 1 and 2 and Afterlife are very important to me, very special. Huge part of my life growing up and getting me into horror. And then Afterlife was just such an amazing entry into the Ghostbuster franchise. I don't think it could have been done any better than it was, and it was great fan service, but also a great story introducing new characters. So I'm excited, but like we'll see because I wasn't too thrilled with Frozen Empire. I think there was way too much thrown at us in the movie, but I digress. Next up, which I'm really excited about, is Insidious: The Further. Enter the further as demons try to ensnare you. The red-faced demon will lure you into his lair. Keyface will unlock your fears and more. So I'm hoping that we get, um, you know, an abundance of characters, callbacks to the movies, great scares. I love Insidious. I was just on Fear and Beer Pod. Shout out those guys. I love them so much. I cannot wait to physically meet them, hugs, have a drink with Jamie, and everyone else. So, but Insidious is one of those movies that is, again, close to my heart. I think the franchise as a whole is pretty solid, and you can check out the episode that Fear and Beer are dropping the 27th, I believe, which featured me. Lastly, for the IP houses is Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. Get caught in an epic battle as Saskia Van Helsing and the Bride of Frankenstein go up against Dracula's daughter and her monstrous mavens. So this is I don't want to say like amazing, but a pretty awesome concept in my mind. We get female energy. I'm here for it. But I will say I would be lying if I did not bring this up. And I think speaking for a lot of HHN um, goers, whether it be new to the game, old to the game, that really were disappointed that we didn't get a creature house this year. I was extremely upset, but I will take this house. I think it'll be fun. I think visually it'll be stunning, and hopefully delivers on the scares. At the end of the reveal of these houses, I will be doing a ranking of like my most anticipated to my least anticipated, and then of course we will do a follow-up solo, but there will be also a lot of HHN content coming out after and pretty much before the event. Hopefully I get to do an episode with T, my girl, Spooky Round Table. Shout out her, love her to death, and also Broken Jaw Jewelry, which is Jesselyn, and she makes custom handmade jewelry pieces that are chef's kiss. So I know she wanted to collab at some point. So hopefully we will get that this year. And then now on to the originals. Now, in my opinion, I'm a huge fan of the originals. I think that these ideas, concepts, and designs are amazing. So let's get into the first batch of the original IPs. So for the first original house that they have listed on here, it's Monstrosas. I don't even know if that's how you say it. Monstros. We'll go with that. And that's a Spanish word that I cannot say. Tien Kyoto. With the Morte as your guide, try to survive the night with 3 terrifying legends. A long word that I can't say. La Escucha and El Salaman. I'm doing no service to these names and I'm butchering them and I apologize, but I will list it in the description. Monsters of Latin America, all I can say is I'm down for a creature feature. I'm down for these monsters. Give me all of the scariness. I'm here for it. Next up is Slaughter Cinema 2, which is a B film driven house, which I am so fucking excited for this one. It's time for another horror movie marathon at the Cary Drive-In. Scream through scenes from creature features, grindhouse score, and more. Just everything about this screams Pretty Killer Podcast, screams Jordana. I cannot wait. I'm hoping that we can go maybe 2 times in this house so I can absorb all the scares and then absorb the environment and everything around me. Next up is the museum Deadly Exhibits. A folklore museum's newest exhibit, the Rotting Stone, has released an evil spirit that decays everything, and it's coming for you. Love the sounds of that. I'm not going to deep dive too much into these because they're pretty self-explanatory, but we will go back and rank where they fall on my list. Next is Major Sweets Candy Factory. You're chaperoning a field trip to a candy factory when the free samples transform the kids into candy-coated killers. I think this might be top of my list for originals, maybe even in general, just because this was a scare zone when we went in 2022, and it was just very reminiscent of the older Halloween horror vibes, just vintage, the music playing, the visuals. It was just amazing. So, really, really looking forward to that one. Next up is Goblin's Feast. Enter a goblin village where a feast is being prepared for goblins, orcs, hobgoblins, and witches, and you're the main course. I am stoked for this one as well. Then we have Triplets of Terror. You're invited to Barney's triplets birthday celebration, but their kind of party involves recreating the murders of their entire family. Hey, this is a birthday party that I would not be ashamed to attend. RSVP, yes, please. Sign me up. And then, as always, we have the things to do, which would be the Nightmare Fuel Nocturnal Circus. Step right into a dark circus, a new nightmare that carries with it a sinister curse. Get trapped in a thrilling spectacle of pyro and arsenals, the beat of a pulse-pounding rock anthem. Okay, we've never, full disclosure, never attended one of these shows, any Nightmare Fuels in the past HHN events. So this one, we are definitely doing this year. And then for our scare zones, we have some fun ones. We have entered the Blumhouse, escape a terrifying gauntlet of Blumhouse characters from sinister sadists from The Purge and The Black Phone to Megan dancing into your nightmares you've never known horror like this. Pretty sure we have Blumhouse. We've seen this multiple times. But again, it's cool for the people who have never been before, because the party that we're going with, our best friends, their sons have never been. So that, I think, will be a cool modern entry into HHN. Next up for scare zones is Duality of Fear. As soon as you enter the gates of Halloween Horror Nights, you must choose a path. Follow Sinister, the manifestation of visceral horror, or follow Surreal, the incarnation of unearthly terror. This I'm extremely intrigued about, because as soon as you walk into the park, you have to pick your destination. And I'm still on the fence of which way we're going to go. If we're going to stick together, if we're going to split up, who knows? But I'm excited for whatever journey we decide to go down. Next up is Demon Queens. Get caught in an otherworldly hellscape ripped from the darkest corners of your mind. 4 merciless queens loyal to Surreal rule, surrounded by hordes of fanatical followers. That one, to me, sounds fun. I like how it's tying in with the other scare zone, so hopefully that will deliver a huge punch. Next up is a highly anticipated scare zone for me, Swamp of the Undead. In Backwaters, Louisiana, you unwittingly wander onto private property where you're swamped by zombie born from the bodies of other trespassers who were killed and dumped in a nearby bog. Give me all the swampiness. I love that area where the scare zone is going to be. It always delivers. It's fun. The natural-esque of where it's at heightens every single scare zone. So I'm really pumped for that one. And lastly, Torture Fair. Come one, come all to Sinister's Renaissance Fair with the devious theme of medieval torture. Brave the gloriously gory homemade torture devices till you're put out of your misery. Off with my head, off with everyone else's head, off is the way that we need to go. This year sounds fun. I'm really excited. And now we will rank up which houses are on the top of my list and which ones that I'm not too sure about. All right. So we're going to start from my most anticipated down to the bottom. And again, this is in no way like me crapping on the event already. I haven't even seen any of the visuals, obviously because it's not opening weekend is this weekend and it's going to be really hard to avoid any spoilers. I'm going to try my best because I want to go into these houses blind and experience them and just try to form my own opinion and not watch everyone already in the house and go off of those vibes. So first up on my list is going to be Insidious the Further for the IP selection. I am so stoked that I get to go to a house that includes Insidious. Like I said, it's one of my favorites from James Wan, and again, a solid franchise, if you ask me, in the horror community. So stoked for that one. Next up would have to be Slaughter Cinema 2. Everyone knows how I love bad horror movies. So that one is hanging tightly number 2, almost number 1, but I feel like I'm really excited to see what Insidious offers us. Number 3 on the list would have to be Major Sweets Candy Factory. Again, I'm a huge fan of scare zones turning into houses, and they hit all the marks for Dead Man's Pier, Dead Man's Wake. So that one is sliding in at number 3. Number 4 is going to have to be Goblin's Feast. I'm excited to see all the creatures and the witches and have like that sort of vibe going on, like the witchy, mystical vibes. And then I'm going to go with Monsters Eternal Bloodlines. As much as I gripe about not getting a creature house, I am here for the female energy. I'm here for how this house is going to play out. So really excited for that one. Then I would have to say the museum Deadly Exhibit because I love Night at the Museum Gone Wrong. I love the horror twist on this. I think that it's gonna be fun, filled with fun scares. Hopefully it's a little bit darker, but I think we're gonna get darker elements in other houses. And then I'm gonna go with Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I'm excited to see the little Stay Puft Marshmallow Men, the big antagonist, and to actually see a Ghostbusters house. So we will definitely put that one there. Then I'm gonna go with the Monsters of Latin America, just because I love creature features. So I think this one might be like the El Chupacabra one that we went in 2022, which was good. I mean, it kind of felt middle in my list, but I think that this one is going to be tweaked a little bit better. And then I'm going to go with, let's see, I think I'm going to put A Quiet Place next, just because I am a fan of the movies. I'm curious to see how this house is going to pan out because they are doing sign language ASL, and from what I believe, it is going to be quiet, not all of it, but majority of it. So, I'm more excited for how they do this house, I guess you could say. And then lastly, I'm gonna do the Triplets of Terror just because it does sound fun, but it kinda seems like a jailbreak home that we got last year last minute, and I don't think we got this last minute, but I just feel like it's kind of like thrown together. So that is my list for HHN. We will revisit and I will give an accurate ranking of the houses once we come back, and we will be down in October. So again, this is a little bit further out since the opening is the 30th, but still equally excited to do this year. And also, we had our friends come over the other night and they were discussing the possibility of doing an RIP tour. So hopefully, fingers crossed, if we do decide to do that, there will be availability and we can have that experience. And if we do have that experience, you bet your booties that I will be it'll be from my point of view, it'll be just you guys will be in on it. It'll feel like you are actually at HHN this year. So that would be It seems kind of bougie, I guess you could say, because when you look at the prices, I mean, I had a couple glasses of wine and I'm like, "Oh, an extra, $900 isn't a bad thing." Yeah, well, but also I'm a firm believer in making memories, and money comes and goes. You can't take it with you. So you might as well enjoy it on an RIP tour where you know you're going to get all the houses done, a private tour. You get a private bar up at Jimmy Fallon. And I just think it's a cool experience to have someone guide you through, talk to you about it, and then be able to know you're getting all the houses done because let's be real, you could go one night, rain, ton of people, then you would have to buy an express pass, or would you just do another night? And then if you take the risk of going another night, then it could be more busy, and then you might not get to the houses that you even wanted to get to from the night before. So we'll have to wait and see. It's like a game with HHN. What is the best thing to do in your situation? And also sound off if you've been to any HHN events. Please leave in the comments which year, favorite houses, and if you haven't gone to HHN, also leave houses that you'd love to see because there is a shitload that I would love to come to HHN. So, but now that we have somewhat deep dived into HHN, let's get into Dark Nights at Hershey Park. Fun story about Hershey Park Dark Nights. So the year that we went to HHN as a family, the Brissette family trip in 2022, while we were down there, I was looking through my Pretty Killer podcast emails because at that point I didn't check them that much. I wasn't getting too many important emails or emails at all. And I saw that I was invited for a media event by Hershey, and I literally, like, fell off the couch because I only was in the horror IG game set like, the beginning of that year, I believe, so I was only in a couple like, let's say 9 months, and I got invited. I don't know how they found me, but I am forever thankful that they did. I've developed a great relationship with Amanda, who is head of PR, and this will be my 3rd year going, and I'm telling you what, Dark Nights is such a great event, and they are going to evolve into something humongous like HHN. The food, the original food that they have, and also I want to say I didn't deep dive too much into the food options for HHN because I just kind of dropped it today. That's not like my huge focal point of the events. I mean, granted, they're amazing and it's a must when you're there. But I found that I actually enjoyed Dark Knight's food over HHN food because some of the combinations at HHN are a little bit wacky and not like fun wacky, like like a hot and sweet jalapeno pepper. It's like chili with cookie dough with I don't know, not to that full extreme, but some of the choices had us like, very, very strange, like very weird. When we went to HHN, we had funnel fries that had like a sweet texture, and then it was like crab meat, and it was too sweet. Like I wanted more of a salty dynamic into this one. So um I'm hoping that this year HHN will deliver us some goodies, food wise. Okay, so now let's deep dive into what houses they have this year, and they keep getting new ones. So I'm really excited that we're seeing more because seeing more means more foot traffic, that they're growing, that they're evolving, and I'm here for it because I absolutely love the event. And just to let you know, when the event is running at Hershey, they have a trick or treat for the younger kids, which is beautiful, like the little storefronts, and they have all the pretty Halloween decorations out, and then the coasters are running. And when I went with my sister-in-law last year, we had a blast. We were like little kids running around. It was raining, so there was pretty much no one in the park. And then it always seemed like the times that we were about to get on the coasters, it stopped raining, so it allowed us to get on without a line. I think we ran the one roller coaster. They let us go on it twice because no one was on our train. We were just the two people in the front, so that's always fun. But So the new house that they have this year is called State of Evil. A charming new brownstone has officially hit the market. Wander through the 13 rooms of the spacious mansion and prepare to be captivated by the meticulous care the live-in waitstaff have taken to preserve the past. While exploring, envision yourself tending to the enchanting garden, entertaining inside the lively game room, and raising a glass inside the private wine cellar. But be vigilant or suffer the same fate as the previous owners. I am so excited for this. They did a new house last year and it was my absolute fave. So this sounds promising, sounds right up my alley. I'm here for it. And then Auntie Mortem's Abattoir. Step into the back office where the secrets of the Mortem family's trade are kept hidden in plain sight. Uncover the devious tactics her nephews use to keep the business in the red, but beware, you might meet Auntie Mortem in the flesh. This one had uh, Texas Chainsaw vibes, like the pig mask from American Horror Story. It's like a butcher nasty setup. It's just gory, scary. This one scared the shit out of me. Like I was running from Andrea. That's my sister-in-law. And I was just like, and she's like, slow down. I could not because every like 2 steps there was a great scare and then a continuous like ongoing of it. It didn't stop. So that one was a lot of fun. And then we'll get into I want to say the foundations, the ones that were there beforehand. And that is the Haunted Coal Mine, Curse of the Tommyknockers. Come face to face and shoulder to shoulder with the Tommyknockers and feel their wrath once more. Explore new depths on evil or unveil hidden terrors and brave the unseen in their haunted mind. Guys, I'm so sorry for my flubs. It is Monday morning and it's early. So your girl is trying to get through it. I think we're all trying to get through it on a Monday, actually. The next house up is Twisted Carnival. The nightmare-fueled fun never ends at the Twisted Carnival. Be or step beyond the tent and prepare to be mesmerized by a new hypnotic showstopper. This frightening spectacle will turn your reality upside down. And it's not just Carnival, it's Carna Evil, okay? Again, your girl's flopping, but it's not a fun carnival. This one is filled with scary ass clowns, just creatures, so much fun. This one was top for me the first year Greg and I went. I love this one. And then the next one is The Descent, Catacombs of Decay. A new merchant has reopened the antiquities shop and transformed it into a rare bookstore filled with ancient, powerful volumes. As Vera's abilities grow stronger, she pulls unsuspecting souls into the mysterious tunnels below. Be careful not to become part of her collection. I say it was the Carnival Twisted Carna Evil was my favorite, but like these houses are so fun and they're well thought out and there's a story and there's a plot and there's characters and there's so much to see. Like you could go through these houses and not see everything like 3 times. You know what I mean? Like you could go in the house 3 times and not see all of it because there's so much detail. And that's what I love about Dark Knights is they're putting in the work. They're putting in the effort. Their scare actors are so much fun. They come up and have conversations with you. Um, they have awesome uh, decorations all throughout the park, and the food is slaps. It's so good. And I'm excited for all the treats that they have. Then with their scare zones, they have the Fallout Zone, which is a nuclear, radioactive setup, glowy neon greens, disgusting beast that came out of it. Love it. Midway of Misery, that's the bigger one, and that's down by the Ferris wheel. They have the guys that go by on like the roller skates with like the knee pads and have the sparks and just it's one of my favorite. And then we have Darkstone Hollow. And I don't remember this one. I think this one might be new, but now it's like a mythical collection. So I'm hoping that we get to see some creature features. But all in all, I have been impressed with Hershey, and I'm really looking forward to this year for their event. I'm hoping to go on media night, which is September 13th, the actual opening night. Not sure if I will be able to make it, but we will be doing that in September. So we will be doing Hershey Park before we do HHN, and I'm really excited about it. in general, but just to kind of contrast and see, you know what I mean? Because yes, HHN is huge and it's one of the better known ones, but I feel like the up and comers are the ones that you have to look out for because they are putting in the work. So excited to experience these. And then also I will be doing my normal haunt covering in the local areas like Fulton because I'm in the central New York region, and we'll be doing the local haunts. So I will do a special episode pertaining to the local ones compared to these bigger name events. Um, Please leave in the comments what you would like to see from my HHN trip. Granted, we're not going on vacation just for HHN. It will be a family split up, but I will definitely be covering the event and bringing you guys along with me. So let me know what you want to see in the comments. For HHN and even for Hershey. If you're curious and you want to know like what else they have for entertainment and rides, just let your girl know down below. I'm going to keep this episode short and sweet. I just wanted to keep putting content out there. I'm happy to be back. It felt really good to record last time, and it seemed like, a lot of you listened. So thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate the support. I love you guys. And also, upcoming episodes, I am collabing with Annie Loves Horror. She's one of my favorite horror accounts. So she will be on the show. That will be dropping next week sometime, and some other special guests and topics that I got up my sleeve. So happy Monday, everyone. I hope Monday is good to you. And as always, thank you for checking out this show. Like, rate, subscribe, comment, send me coffee because I am feeling the caffeine lull today. And be nice to each other, be good to yourself, drink water. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.